It's a hard on.
Ooh.
Hey everybody, my name is Jim Farmer. I am the festival director of Out on Film Atlanta's LGBTQ Film Festival. This is our 36th year, and we have an amazing lineup of films this year. One of the films I cannot wait to share with everybody is the world premiere of a big gay hairy hit, Where the Bears Are, the documentaries. So let's hear it for Bears. Woo!
Yay!
And we have pretty much the entire central cast coming in and the director, and I'm going to let them all introduce themselves right now, and then we're going to get into some fun questions. So let's start.
All right. Well, hey, I'm Joe Deedle. I played Wood on the show, and I'm one of the producers and the stars of this thing.
Yay.
I'm Rick Kopp. I played Reggie Hatch on the show, and I'm one of the producers and writers on the show.
Yay.
Hey, I'm Ben Zook. I'm one of the writers and producers of the show, and I play Nelson.
My name is Ian Parks. I play Todd Stevens on the show, and I neither created nor directed nor wrote the show. I was just the fourth guy that got to go along for the ride with these people.
I'm Eduardo Aquino. I'm the director of A Big Gay Harry Hit, and I used to edit the show.
Nice. Well, let's just, before we start talking about the documentary, let's just go back to the start, the beginning. Tell me how, Where the Bears Are began. I mean, whose idea it was, how you all came up with it, and how it sort of took off.
We were in my hot tub drinking margaritas in Thanksgiving weekend of 2011 and got drunk enough just to decide that we were going to do our own show about hairy bears with murder and comedy. And as we say in the documentary, we were just drunk enough to actually agree to do it. And we did.
Yeah, we all had been working in Los Angeles, in Hollywood for decades, and we all had somewhat successful careers in Hollywood. But we were at a point in our careers where we would pitch gay ideas, and especially dirty ones, edgy, funny, dirty, gay pitch ideas, and no one would buy them because the studios at that point were just not doing what we wanted to do. And we realized, well, if they're not going to do it, we're tired of pitching this around. Let's just do it ourselves.
Yeah, and Rick and I had been trying to adapt one of his novels for a while and get that made. And we had a cast, set up, and we just could not find the money to do it. And luckily, Ben had had some success selling a screenplay, Jack and Jill, with Adam Sandler attached, and that gave us some money. And we finally were like, hey, we have some money. Let's just do something on our own that nobody could say no to. And that was sort of the impetus. Like, we were tired of hearing no, and we're like, let's just do something that will make us laugh.
Yeah, and frankly, had we not had the money, I mean, we put some of our own money in season one. Had we not had the money, I think we would have found the money, because we really were determined to do this. Because I feel bad, I feel like we came from a little bit of a privileged position of, we had some money and were able to fundraise our first season. But I encourage other filmmakers, even if you don't have any money at all, don't let that stop you, because we were just lucky that we had a little spare money. But I think we would have raised it in season one if we would have had to have. So I encourage everybody to don't let money be the factor. If you have a project you're passionate about, you can hopefully find a little money.
And then we really have to thank Craigslist, because they should really be our sponsor. Because basically we found these two guys on Craigslist, and they were the best additions to our series that could ever happen. And we got really, really lucky with these two.
Yes, we created this great character, Todd. And we just were like, are we going to be able to find anybody who can play this role? And we did. And he's
7 years.
Yeah,
and he's great.
I was looking for work on Craigslist. I was an editor and was just looking for freelance stuff. And I mean, I responded to the ad on a Wednesday. Friday I auditioned. Saturday Joe called me and asked if I would do it, and then Monday I was rolling on top of Ben in my underwear, and that was truly the second time I had ever even been in a room with these people.
Yeah, and I'm like, why am I this heavy set, big hairy gay dude in my 40s with this gorgeous, amazing looking young man in his 20s. What's going on here? And it was really great. And the fans, I liked it. The fans loved it. And I think even Ian even enjoyed it. And we're like, okay, I'll buy them as a couple.
Eduardo, when did you start editing?
Right from the start.
Okay.
I mean, I saw an ad on Craigslist where they were looking for crew members, and I was there from day one, just holding the microphone and seeing Ben's balls by accident.
What a treat.
Do we know it was by accident?
Oh, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, me too.
And then I started editing a couple of episodes for them, and they liked it, and then it became a regular thing.
Well, you know what's amazing is, Eduardo's from Brazil. He's a younger guy. He doesn't have the same references that we have, but this guy, I mean, he's just amazing. He set the tone of our show with editing. He got the humor right off the bat, and a lot of times you get an episode turned in from an editor and you want to cry because it's like, wow, none of the jokes are hitting and it's just nothing's landing. And I swear every time he turned in something, we'd be like, it's great. We'd have little tweaks here and there, but this Eduardo was just from the get-go, got the tone and the humor of the show and just elevated our show.
So obviously, there was a time when it became available and you got feedback from people, but as you were filming it, did you sort of say to yourself, like, when was it that you began filming that you're like, we think this could really be big for us? And when did that point happen?
We were enjoying it when we were shooting season 1. I mean, we were making ourselves laugh. And so we were reasonably confident that our friends would like it, but we weren't sure if it was going to appeal to everybody. And it was only when the trailer came out before the show premiered that we got an inkling that people were enjoying it. We started hearing from people and that were watching the trailer and going, oh my God, I can't wait to watch this. It looks really funny or whatever. And I think that's when we had our first notion that it might be bigger than what we expected.
Oh yeah, we didn't have any big expectations. We just were like, let's just do this for fun, see what happens. But I don't think we ever really expected it to become a big thing. And then we were pleasantly surprised when the trailer really started to blow up when we released it.
Well, I remember shooting. I mean, we would be doing a scene and you guys would be like, do we need another take of that? It's like, no one's going to watch this thing anyway. Let's just keep low expectations.
Well, we were just like, I'm tired. I want to go home. I want to drink.
So the first season came out. It was a big success. How easy was it from that point on to start doing crowdfunding and get funding for additional seasons?
We didn't crowdfund season 2. We actually made a DVD that sold so well it gave us the money to do season 2 without putting our own money into it. Which, as I say in the documentary, is a big dumb business decision because we never even got any profits from that. And because we put all the money back into the show, every cent. Yeah. And then it was season 3 when we started the Kickstarter. Okay. And by then the show was pretty established, and it was although it was nerve-wracking, as Ben will tell you.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think we couldn't have done it first season, or maybe we could have done it second season, but Kickstarter was sort of new also, and when we did it on that third season, we had already proved that we can do a product that you like, and you were already invested, so it was easier to find people to donate to the project. But it's still
that's always my first advice to other filmmakers about Kickstarter is, if you can finance your first season without it, it's going to make it a lot easier when you do the Kickstarter, because people will know what they're getting.
Gotcha. So you did the series, it became incredibly successful. When did the kernel of the idea become to do a documentary?
Well, actually, I was their editor, and as they were going to do season 7 and they told me that it was going to be the last one, I approached them with the idea of making the documentary, because I was I was struck I was amazed at the work they did, and they managed to gather around their own community and, create a product that was specifically designed for them. I was just impressed that they created their own distribution model. It was a lot of things that I admired about them after working so closely with them. And then we started shooting stuff around season 7, and then the pandemic, and then we did more interviews, and then we were just able to finish it. We finished it like a year ago, maybe? No, less than that.
Less, yeah.
It's been really recently, haven't I mean,
I mean,
the
it literally
finishing touches.
Yeah, finishing touches were done.
But I remember from the get-go too, we always had an eye for doing a DVD. So we immediately from the first season started doing behind the scenes footage that we could show, bloopers, things like that already got us a head start on footage, behind the scenes footage, not just clips from the show, to be able to use in some kind of documentary. But then when Eduardo decided, yeah, let's do this documentary, then season 7, we had a lot more focus on what we were exactly doing with the behind the scenes stuff.
And you all, throughout the course of the series, you were able to get some very recognizable names. I mean, how did that work out? Missy Pyle, Margaret Cho. I mean, can you talk about that?
Well, we were friends. Mainly, we cast friends or people that we knew.
Yeah.
Ben had went to college with Tuck Watkins.
Yeah.
We got him first season, and him and Ben's rapport is just always hysterical. So that was great. And we met Brooke through Tuck. Brooke grew up with Tuck on the same street. And she, as Honey Garrett, was just hysterical. But other people, we were trying to get Margaret Cho first season. We were friends with her, and she's like, yeah, absolutely. And then she originally was going to play Susie the coroner, and her schedule, she couldn't do it that first season, and we were really bummed. But then our very good friend Loretta Fox stepped in, and she did an amazing job and was there for all those seasons. And when we got to do season 2, Margaret came on board, and we were very happy to get her.
Yeah,
Ben and Jen were actors for years, and they just knew all these great people that they brought into the show. It was great. Even Jennifer Lee Cox. I wrote the Brady Bunch movie, and Jennifer Lee Cox played Jan, but I had nothing to do with it. They did a game show on your TV.
He did a game show with her. Yeah,
I invited her to do the show.
I feel like the only actor that we cast that was not a personal friend was Chaz Bono. We got an offer to Chaz's agent.
Yeah,
but everyone else, I think, were friends of ours.
I mean,
and actually, Perez Hilton had tweeted about us, like, "Hey, you doing a new series?
Oh yeah, he wanted to be on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like, sure, Perez.
So looking back, can you share what some of your favorite episodes were, or what we've heard from in terms of fan favorite episodes?
Ian, what do you think?
Yeah, Ian.
I want to hear you talk.
Well, I think I don't even know where you guys are going with that, because there's such a wide variety of things to choose from. I know the airplane sequence was, for us, like, we all kind of agree, like, we hit the bullseye with that one. The set was amazing. The special effects shots, like those the airplane episodes at the end of season 3 were universally agreed upon as like, yeah, that's pretty kick-ass. So I think we were all very proud of that. I don't know which ones. What are you guys thinking of? You all turn to me like I'm supposed to know the answer.
I think we're a little too close to it because we wrote it. That's why I'm curious what you and Eduardo would say as strictly observers.
Well, I always like when the show goes way out there, like the diaper commercial that Ben's character did. That was so gross.
Oh, that's right. In season 2, my character is this lame actor, and he ends up booking a commercial for adult diapers, like Lisa Rinna did.
Soakums.
Yeah, he's playing tennis, and it's like, I'm playing tennis right now, and I'm wearing a diaper.
Faces you made in that.
Yeah, a little bit of mugging.
Yeah,
I love the episode when we're in the morgue. the
Yeah.
slapstickness of that with holding the dead body and slapping Rick's face, and I just thought that whole sequence was hysterical.
One of my favorite seasons is actually season 5, which I don't think I wrote any of season 5, did I? I might have put the tinsel on the script.
Yeah, that's what he likes to
I
do.
think
Rick, you write it. I'll put the tinsel on the tree.
I think you wrote most of season 5 because my father was dying. Thank you. Anyway,
Jeez.
in season 5, Ian's arc was really interesting because nobody knows what the fuck's going on with him, and we made this huge change in the direction of the show. And I don't know, should we do the spoiler alert? I guess we can say it. I don't know, everybody knows. But in it, everybody thinks Ian's character is cheating on me, and the audience really hated it.
Oh, remember that because that episode was on a Thursday, and I was like, now I have to sit back for a whole weekend and watch people hate my guts.
Yeah, like people were like, I knew he was bad. I knew this wouldn't work out.
It was mean. It was,
yeah. But it was all because his character was trying to save my life. He had to. He was a spy.
That was one of my favorite seasons too. I just felt there were so many twists and turns, and I love the plot of Joe's character and my character sleeping with the same guy and not knowing it, because we lifted that right out of Outrageous Fortune with Bette Midler and Shelley Long, and it was just lots of fun. And then the Mexican town with the shootout, we had a Western shootout. There were just so many elements to that season that were my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch the show, there's not even thinly veiled homages to known movies, like Hitchcock movies. I mean, definitely, we just lifted stuff, and also sitcom episodes from just like there. In fact, there's one line I think is like right out of the Golden Girls, the herpes line. It's just like, okay, we just pulled it, but yeah, a lot of homages.
Yeah, let me ask y'all this. Obviously, when I was growing up, there really wasn't a whole lot of LGBTQ representation. What was there was really negative, or it was about AIDS. And, I finally started seeing it. But, having said that, there wasn't much bear representation for even longer. Can you talk about gay bear representation? Maybe the first time you all saw someone that you identified with, either on TV or in film?
Well, that movie, the Spanish movie, really influenced you guys.
Yeah. Chueca Town.
Chueca Town, yeah.
Bear Cub as well. But those were actual bears. But back in the day, though, there was Tom Selleck he was hairy, but he wasn't a bear. He was like, but I remember saying, wait a minute, I'm not attracted to the normal. Even when I was realizing I was gay, what you're supposed to be attracted to, the iconic representation of what a gay man is, and I knew immediately there had to be some more people like me out there,
Even when I was really little, before it was even like, sexualizing, like Haas Cartwright or Curly of the Three Stooges.
Dan Haggerty,
Dan Haggerty, yeah, Grizzly Adams,
yeah.
Bluto from Popeye, anyone?
Who?
Bluto from Popeye, the big.
Oh, Bluto, yeah.
Cartoons. I was like, oh yeah, that's for me.
Johnny Quest's dad.
Yeah, Alan from Josie and the Pussycats.
John Saxon, that character actor, he was so hairy. Do you remember him?
I remember him.
Yeah.
Jim's like, yeah, I remember. Eduardo, was that what you obviously you weren't in the whole bear community before you jumped on this whole thing. Was there did you know about the bear community before you started this?
Not really. I think when I moved to LA was when I first started hearing about it, but it was also something that was popping up here in Brazil at the time. I mean, out of the bubble, I think people already identified as bears, but we were starting to hear about it. So when I moved to LA, that's when I found out that it was like a real community and what it meant to be a bear, stuff like that.
Brazil is one of our biggest countries in social media. Yeah.
In Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia, yeah.
There are a lot of bears in Atlanta as well, as Ian can there are lots of bears.
Well, hopefully we're going to see them at the screening.
Exactly. I think that's been. I mean, obviously when we do the in-person Q&A, we can go a little bit longer. And that's, but I want to hear you all in person talk about what's next for this documentary, what's next for you all. But I've enjoyed this chat tremendously. I am so excited about this screening. A big Gay Harry Hit, Where the Bears Are, the documentary, screens at Out on Film on Saturday. September 23rd at 8:15. We'll have all these folks there. You can also catch it briefly on streaming as well. I'm so very excited. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Ian, for not only making the series, but making the documentary, and for your representation, but also for joining us today. And we look forward to having you at the screening on Saturday night and having a big whip-ass party afterwards.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
Thank you all so much. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Right.